and we're here to support your health at every stage of life. Learn more at WMMC.com. Western Missouri Medical Center, your partner for health.
Hi, it's me, your little round buddy teed up on the first hole at Mules National Golf Club. Whee! Now, I'm rolling down the beautiful Zoysia fairway. Nice shot. Yahoo! Ugh, whoopsie. You hit me in one of their beautiful white sand bunkers. Whoa! I'm high over the water on the Island Green 18th hole. Whew! Safe on the green. Now just put me in the hole. That's a birdie!
Book your tee time today at mulesnational.com.
Tiger Football is back on the air. Brought to you in part by State Farm Insurance, Lindsay Tegmeyer Agency, Flat Branch Home Loans, American Senior Benefits, Davis Bell Auction Services, Central Bank of Warrensburg, IHOP of Warrensburg. Now, here's Tiger football coach Chris Cavanaugh.
Good evening from Warrensburg High School. No, I'm not Tiger football coach Chris Cavanaugh, but I am Ryan Retone, joined by Brady Retone, where we join you from a very chilly Warrensburg High School. It finally feels like football weather, Brady, and that's probably because it is the final night of the regular season. I actually can't believe that we have come throughout the entire 9 weeks of the high school football season. Brad, how's it going tonight?
It's going good, Ryan. Of course, it's honestly a little chilly, but perfect football weather. I mean, it's enough to where if you're playing, you don't have to wear any sleeves. You're going to get warmed up, but it's that cool 50 degrees where, everybody in the stands are going to be bundled up, but of course, everybody on the field is going to be a little loose, and it's perfect football weather.
Yeah, I could not agree more. And tonight we have more Missouri River Valley West Conference action as Oak Grove has come to town as taking on the 5-3 Warrensburg Tigers. And Brady, for last week for Warrensburg, that is. I know you didn't get to be there, but it was a very big win on the road, a hostile environment over state-ranked Clinton. How do you carry that momentum from a state-ranked victory on the road into a game against a team that has definitely struggled this season and make sure you finish your regular season strong?
And Ryan, we talked about it during that Center game. That Clinton game is the one circled. It's the one circled that, hey, this is the game you need to win in order to have momentum going into the postseason. So taking down a state-ranked team is very big for this Warrensburg team. They come out here tonight to take care of business against Oak Grove. They still have a shot at taking the 1 seed in the district. Yeah, you go out here and you pummel Oak Grove, and then a couple other things happen. Hey, guess what? You have Halloween off, and you don't have to play next Friday.
Yeah, and everyone can know how big a bye week would be in the playoffs, but of course, you'd be foolish not to acknowledge what's in front of you, right? And while Warrensburg has dominated the season series or the series matchup history between Oak Grove, they have the last season. It's not always been the case. I'm sure everyone that's listening here remembers the 2023 game that finished 87-56 in favor of Oak Grove. That feels more like a basketball score than it does a football score, Brady. Last year, though, for Warrensburg, a 41-0 victory. And judging by the place that both these teams are in, right, you would expect Warrensburg to be favored in this game. But again, it's such an odd situation to come off of a state-ranked victory because Clinton's been bad for a long time. So for this matchup to happen right after beating a state-ranked team, it's pretty rare. I will let you know that our pregame show is brought to you by Western Missouri Medical Center, your partner for health, advanced medicine, closer to home. Visit WMMC.com today. Also want to remind you that this is the Pilgrim Mortgage broadcast and talk about them all night. So thankful for all of our lovely sponsors here on KOKO Sports. Brad, what are the keys to the game tonight?
Brian, I think I've beat this pretty hard, but it's going to be doing the little things right, holding on to the ball. Staying focused within the game. Now you look at this Oak Grove team, yes, they are 2-6, but they have a 6-point loss to Clinton. Right. They have a 21-point loss to Harrisonville, and then they have a 13-point loss to Odessa and a 7-point loss to Pleasant Hill. This team isn't bad. I don't think they're bad at all. I think they have some upside. They've played some really good teams really close. you can't go into this game looking at the record and being like, okay, this is a game we are going to take care of business. You have to go out there and you have to take care of business, and that's starting with doing the little things right, holding on to the ball security, staying ahead of the sticks, getting the run game going. Stuff like that is going to win you this football game.
Would you say that the weather tonight, it's not rainy, which it has rained in some places, and actually, in fact, it looks like maybe it's rained a little bit in Warrensburg, judging by the wet spots on the track. Would you say that it cold and wet turf as the Warrensburg Tigers take the field here at their home stadium, would you say that potentially could play a factor tonight?
Yeah, Ryan, I really do. I mean, we've seen the struggles with ball security on this team. That ball gets a little wet, and, it might slip and slide. We also might not see Mannering throw the ball as much here. We might see A.J. Smith go to work. Just kind of Hunter Michelle just using the backfield a lot today, keeping the ball on the ground. Usually when you're put in a tough environment, you don't really want to have the ball in the air. You want to have it where it's clean handoffs and stuff like that to limit those turnovers. So I'd like to see the run game really accelerate today.
I got to tell you, last week, Camden Mannering made one of the more impressive high school football plays I've seen from a sophomore quarterback. Evaded 2 sacks, rolled out to the right side, and fired a dot to the back corner of the end zone for a touchdown. He played very well in that game. I expect more of that tonight. But first, we got to go ahead and take a break here. They're playing the national anthem in Warrensburg. When we return, it's more of the Western Missouri Medical Center pregame show. Again, Warrensburg and Oak Grove coming your way on KOKO Sports.
You can depend on your Comfort Maker dealer to keep your home and family comfortable all summer long. Whether it's a spring tune-up or a midsummer emergency repair call, our customers enjoy the peace of mind that comes with having a reliable relationship with a rock-solid service partner. Make Fox Heating and Cooling your first and only call for outstanding cooling products and solutions. Call 660-747-2992 or come by 448 East Gay Street. Comfort Maker. Comfort with confidence.
Hi, this is Jared Jones from Pilgrim Mortgage. I think it's important that you know who we are, and we believe home is more than an address. It's your future. Our team is dedicated to guiding you through the mortgage process with expertise, integrity, and a personal touch. You might even say that we're a little old-fashioned because we still believe that the client is always first. So come see me today, Pilgrim Mortgage, 101 North McGuire Street, Suite B in Warrensburg, or find me online at homeloansbyjared.com.
Kevin from Lee Summit Warrensburg Ford just made me another happy customer.
Ready, set, Ford. It's game time at Warrensburg Ford, and we're offering savings that will make you a winner. How about 2025 Ford F-150 XLT with low 3.9% financing for 72 months with approved credit, plus $3,250 in savings. It's a great way to tailgate in your new F-150 from Warrensburg Ford.
Hi, I'm Evan Harris, and the tradition of making happy customers continues at Warrensburg Ford.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Tegmeyer, your local State Farm agent here in Warrensburg. As a longtime resident, chamber member, and 2-time UCM graduate, I'm proud to serve the Johnson County community with the highest rated insurance company in the nation, State Farm. I'd love to have the opportunity to sit down with you and review any or all of your policies to see how I can help you create a personalized plan that specifically fits your needs. I look forward to talking to you.
Click, call, or stop by to talk with Lindsay Tegmeyer, your local State Farm agent on East Russell Avenue in Warrensburg.
Let's be honest, football isn't the only thing with ups and downs lately. Mortgage rates have been moving too. And Travis Fleming at Flat Branch Home Loans is here to help. If you bought a home when rates were around 8% or higher, now might be the perfect time to call a timeout and refinance or even consolidate some debt. And for all the first-time buyers, don't sit on the sidelines. Travis would love to help you get in the game and score a home. Travis Fleming with Flat Branch is your playbook for smarter home loans. Find Travis on the web today at flatbranchhomeloans.com/Warrensburg.
Real estate, land, equipment, tools, guns, coins, you name it, we can handle it. Hello, this is Chad Davis at Davis Bell Auction and Real Estate. James Bell and I take great pride in being able to offer an auction plan that best suits our clients. Our decades of experience, availability, and attention to detail will make your next auction a great success. When you need an auction, think Davis Bell, your full auction service company. Give us a call, 660-747-6988, or find us today at davisbellauctions.com.
AM 1450 and 92.1 KOKO with Warrensburg Tigers Football.
Well, we welcome you back out to Warrensburg High School. Again, Warrensburg is taking on Oak Grove in the finale of the season. We'll go ahead and give you your district standings here a little early, and there's a reason for this, I promise you. There's a method behind all this madness on why we would tell you this so early. This is the Class 4 District 7 standings, and they are as followed. Harrisonville is in the 1 slot, Nevada in the 2, Warrensburg in the 3, Lincoln College Prep in the 4, Pleasant Hill in the 5, Raytown South in the 6, and Southeast in the 7th. You can go ahead and ignore 5, 6, and 7 right now because they will not catch the top 4 teams in this district. Obviously, it'll matter for matchups, but we're not concerned about that. Harrisonville in the 1 slot sits with 37.93 points. They have the head-to-head against Warrensburg and have not played Nevada. Nevada in the 2 slot has 36.91 points. Just 1 full point separating the top 2 teams. And then Warrensburg in the 3 has 36.66 points. So just over 1 point. Just over 1 point separating them. And again, Harrisonville has the head-to-head over Warrensburg. So how Misha works is if Warrensburg is 1 spot directly above Harrisonville, then Harrisonville can jump them. But if there's a team in between them, obviously Harrisonville can't jump that other team. So what needs to happen for Warrensburg to get the number 1 seed in Class 4 District 7? Yes, you heard that right. They can still win Class 4 District 7. And this is my projections based off of the Misha points system, which I don't really know how it works still. I don't think anyone does. But I have an understanding of it. Harrisonville this week plays at Odessa. Yeah, at Odessa, and that's going to be a tough game. I would venture to say that Odessa would be favored in that game, right? And we need Odessa to lose, right? Warrensburg needs Odessa to lose. Nevada plays against Pleasant Hill this weekend. Now, we don't need Nevada to lose, because if Nevada were to lose, then it would go Warrensburg, Harrisonville, Nevada, and then Harrisonville would jump Warrensburg for the number 1 seed. But if Nevada were to beat Pleasant Hill by less than what is considered a blowout, which I believe is 14 points, and Warrensburg can beat, who are they playing right now? Oak Grove in a blowout fashion, we believe, and this is based on, talking to other people and seeing what they think about the point system, because no one really knows the official point system. We believe that Warrensburg would jump both Nevada and Harrisonville, and it would go Warrensburg, Nevada, Harrisonville, which would allow Warrensburg to stay in the 1 slot. If you asked me 3 weeks ago that Warrensburg could be the number 1 seed in this district, I would have said, no way, not happening. I wouldn't have said they could be the 2 seed in the district because I didn't think Nevada would lose ever again. But now Nevada has suffered 3 consecutive losses, and it looks at the moment like Warrensburg might have a chance at the 1 seed, Brady. That's a lot of talking, sorry.
Yeah, no, Ryan, they do have a chance at a 1 seed, and that's going to make up some ground for what they had in the past. Not only now are you going to get home field advantage, everybody wants to play that playoff game at home. Everybody does. Warrensburg has a good atmosphere. If you bring this game home, there's a lot of things that can change. Of course, they had Harrisonville at Harrisonville, and they ended up falling in that game.
But that was a game that could have been won.
It's a game that could have been won. It was very winnable, and they had it in their hands.
Yeah.
And then Odessa, they took a hard loss there, but Odessa is a really good football team, Ryan. That is one of the best football teams in the state.
Which is by you saying that is saying that Harrisonville could easily lose to Odessa tonight, and we could be right where we need to be, right, for a bye week next week.
And that's exactly, everything's lining up, and it seems so very possible. It's kind of like when you're sitting there on a Saturday night at a youth baseball tournament, you're adding all this stuff up.
That's what it feels like.
What needs to happen, and now you have that opportunity here in Warrensburg can make up for some of those losses that they had earlier in the year that they should have won with. Now, hey, we're going to be 6-3 and can have the 1 seed.
Well, tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Pilgrim Mortgage. They're your trusted partner for home financing. Call 573-230-6194. We were in the Western Missouri Medical Center pregame show. We have entered the Davis Bell Auction Services coin toss, agriculture, equipment, real estate, household antiques, and more. Call 660-747-6988. And as the captains meet at midfield, we saw the 2 head coaches of the team, Ryan Schartz for Oak Grove, and for Warrensburg, it was obviously head coach Chris Kavanaugh, who I would imagine has been very happy with his team's performance the last few weeks.
Ryan, they're putting up some big numbers. They're beating some really good teams. Like we said, that win at Clinton, on the road in Clinton, is a very big win for this Warrensburg team. You get the momentum, and beating a state-ranked team is exactly what you want if you're Coach Kavanaugh. That's a very hard game to win, and they went out there and proved them wrong. I'd like to say that Clinton was the favor there. And
yeah. It was the defensive line, I thought, that played amazing. And we've talked about them so much this season, but oh my goodness, Frank Stevenson was an animal in that game. And I was calling it from a weird point of view. I couldn't really tell what was going on half the time. But the D-line stood tall when they needed them to. And I believe truly is the reason why they won that football game. I do believe that Warrensburg deferred to the second half. I think they deferred to the second half. But don't take my word for it, as we were both looking down when the coin toss happened. But we are getting set for high school football in Warrensburg, Missouri. Warrensburg did defer the coin toss. They will kick off to Oak Grove. Kickoff right at 7 o'clock tonight. 55 degrees in Warrensburg. Feels like 51 with about 8-mile-an-hour wind coming out of the southeast. Ryan Retone, Brady Retone alongside you. Zach Schmidt is our studio engineer. Warrensburg will be kicking off right to left on your audio feed. Week number 9, 5-3 Warrensburg and 2-5 Oak Grove, and we are underway in Warrensburg. The kick is off and returned at the 10-yard line, running down the left sideline and swallowed up at the 25-yard line is the return man for Oak Grove. Again, we do want to remind you, if you're watching on MoSportsZone.com tonight, when we are in Warrensburg, unfortunately, there's a pole in the middle of our press box, and there's just nothing that can be done about that. So we will do our best to give you good audio coverage of it, but we can't really move the pole that's standing right in front of us. So we're sorry about that. Oak Grove takes the field here. Again, ball spotted on the 25-yard line. If I get the quarterback to turn, I'll give you his number. They're in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the bottom. Hand it off to the back. He runs right up the middle and bursts forward for about 3 or 4 yards on first down. The quarterback is Luke Schartz. He, I would imagine, without making an assumption, is probably the head coach's son, or at least related somehow. I believe the ball carrier on that play was Zach Odell.
Yeah, and a good job there by Odell.
Excuse me, that was actually Braden Vaness.
All right, good job there by Vaness. He stayed patient in the backfield and picked up 4 yards there for a pretty good first game.
Second down, and they'll say 5 yards to go. Back in the backfield's Van Ness. They'll fake it to him. Quarterback spins out right side on the flood concept and fires complete, staying and bounce, tiptoeing the sideline, and down at the 41 or 46-yard line of Warrensburg was the wide receiver Matthew Meyer.
And a really good job there. We saw the bootleg, and he was going to his strong side, but a great ball there. Gets it off, a good spin on it, and a really well-placed ball, keeping it away from the defender, and a great move there by the receiver to get up the field and get a big gain.
First down and 10 from the 47-yard line. Took 2 plays to get the first. Fox Heating and Cooling first down. Warrensburg shows pressure. They send it. Handoff up the middle, and he's met in the backfield. 4 Warrensburg Tigers are there on first contact. It was Cannon Seaver.
A big play there by Seaver. You know, when you go out all run right there, I mean you're run committing.
Yeah.
And there's a good chance to get beat over the top, but a great job by that D-line holding up the back in the backfield.
Just a minute off the clock here in the first quarter. First quarter brought to you by Warrensburg Ford. As we crossed over the 7 o'clock hour, let you know tonight's broadcast is brought to you on 1450 AM KOKO Warrensburg, 92.1 FM K221GY Warrensburg. Speed option left. And the back is going nowhere. Strung out and brought down was the back in Braden Van Ness. And there to make the tackle was Trevin Murphy. Streaming live on MoSportsZone, the MoSportsZone app, and MoSportsZone.com on YouTube. Studio engineer is Zach Schmidt. I'm Ryan Retone, and Brady Retone has something to say.
Sorry about that.
You're all good.
But Murphy right there, I think he's now installed fear in that quarterback's eyes after that hit he laid on him on the option. Good job getting rid of it, but just a very negative play right there.
Third down and 16 yards to go to get the Fox Heating and Cooling first down. Rolling out right side, firing on the smash concept, and out of bounds. The intended receiver was Matthew Meyer, but Seth Johnson was all over him.
And a great job there on defense. It just didn't look like he had the arm strength to get it out there completely. That's a very far throw, Ryan. It's close to about a 50-yard throw when you think about it from across the field. It might be a little longer than that.
Well, and I got to go back and say that you mentioned Trevon Murphy. He had probably the best game of any Warrensburg Tiger last week. Played very well. 4th down and 16. We'll see a punt here. The punter's heels are on the 29-yard line. And back deep to receive is Cruz Villegas. They send pressure, didn't get home. Villegas, fair catch called for, and he's taken out. That's going to be a kick-catch interference, and Warrensburg could pick this ball up and take it, but they don't, and Villegas is down hurt. That didn't look good. That play first off, that play shouldn't have been blown dead. Second off, that was a very, very dirty and dangerous play, and with 9:39 to go, everyone on the field to tend to Cruz Villegas will step aside on KOKO Sports.
Welcome to Home Improvement Improved. At Central Bank, our home equity loans help you make your dream home a reality. With our experienced local lending team and a lower interest rate than a credit card, you'll have more flexibility and the cash you need to update your home the way you want to. Because we do banking better. Visit any of our convenient locations or apply online. Central Bank. Strong roots. Endless possibilities. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Hello, Central Missouri. This is Michael Malloy from American Senior Benefits. When the Tigers find themselves in the red zone, they pull out their special playbook to find the end zone. Retirement has a red zone too. The 5 years leading up to and the first 10 years of retirement are critical to having a well-thought-out plan. Let the experts at American Senior Benefits guide you to your end zone so you don't have to settle for a field goal. American Senior Benefits, across from the courthouse in Warrensburg, proudly flying our nation's colors each and every workday.
I am the Bobcat Man, David Bruce. I am the Bobcat Man, David Bruce.
Hey, this is David Bruce, the Bobcat Man, Bobcat of Sedalia. We've got Bobcat loaders and excavators in stock and on sale. I'm not able to give you the low price over the air due to minimum advertising price restrictions. I know what you're thinking. The Bobcat Man has gone crazy. Well, call my bluff. 816-491-6224. That's 816-491-6224. David Bruce, the Bobcat Man.
AM 1450 and 92.1 KOKO with Warrensburg Tigers Football.
Well, Cruz Villegas is up and already running on the sideline. Thank goodness. That looked very bad and dangerous, and they'll call kick-catch interference. Warrensburg, for the moment, will get the ball at the 41-yard line, I believe. Or, excuse me, that was before they marked this off. They'll mark the penalty off, and it looks like it might go to the 41 anyways. Oh, no, it's still going. The 44-yard line is where this drive will start for Warrensburg, so a costly penalty, and Cruz Villegas is fine, so all is well for Warrensburg. Camden Mannering has taken the field in Pink's leggings. Here again, it's October, so various pink throughout both teams here tonight. The bottom of the formation, lined up at wide receiver, it's Small and Mayhem. Mayhem had the long touchdown catch from Mannering in the game at Clinton last week. 9:39 to play in the first quarter, and Warrensburg takes over on the 44-yard line. McCracken is the solo receiver. Smith in the backfield. Smith, they hand it off to him, and he's cut down behind the line of scrimmage. A heavy loss on first down, and a nice job by the defensive line of Oak Grove.
Yeah, right there, A.J. Smith had no hope. It looked like they just blew him up real fast, but they're in the hurry up right now.
Right back on the ball, they say a loss of 1. Hard count. Check to the line of scrimmage. Dorian Lee is the tight end, and flag flies. It'll be offsides. So the hard count works. This is funny. I feel like both teams that I call, the hard count is very effective. Call football for William Woods. They have a very good job of drawing people off sides. And Camden Mannering has a very good hard count, surprisingly.
Hard count is one of the most useful things out of a quarterback.
2nd down and 6 yards to go. Straight drop back to pass for Mannering. He's sensing pressure up the middle. He escapes the pocket. Mannering with a ton of room across the 40, still running down the sideline and stepping out of bounds at the 29-yard line of Fox Heating and Cooling. First down for Camden Mannering.
That's one of the biggest things from your quarterback is being able to read the pocket. Right there, he did a really good job. He stayed calm when he had pressure coming from his blind side, saw the hole on the right side, and took off. We haven't seen him use his legs that much, but he was moving.
That was very impressive.
was really moving there.
9 minute and 1 second exactly to play in the first quarter as Mannering went out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Very nice scramble. They'll hand it off. And there's running room for A.J. Smith. Smith breaks a tackle and gets drilled by a linebacker. Mickey Seymour with a big hit, but a gain of 6 on first down.
Ryan, one thing I want to point out is A.J. Smith is wearing compression sleeves. And we talk about it, like the cold and everything, and then ball security could see that come into play, knowing how, like, those sleeves are slick.
5 wide here. Smith is lined up at the top of your screen as a wide receiver. Now they motion everyone across the formation back into a trips left look. Tight end on the right side of the line of scrimmage. They've messed something up, so now they'll motion all the wide receivers. 4 wide receivers to the right side of this formation. Smith is to the right of Mannering. They'll hand it off to Smith. No, it's a play action pass and almost intercepted. I don't know how there wasn't a penalty there. Theo McCracken got tackled.
Yeah, and he got off the ball pretty quick there, and it looked like it was going to be a little backside slant. You're reading that safety and backer. I don't say it was the correct read, but he did get hit, and Theo McCracken could have made a play on that, most definitely, but there was nothing he could do about it.
So now 3rd down and 4 yards to go. Definitely 4 down territory here. 5 wide. 3 receivers to the left of Camden Mannering. Mannering drops back to pass. He's looking to that left side. Pressure all around him, and Mannering is dropped for a sack. Wow.
Ryan, Oak Grove's doing a really good job of man coverage right now. They're sending about 8 guys, maybe 7, and they're sending them hard. And, you know, when you have 5 guys protecting, when you have 5 on 8, usually the team with 8 is going to have the advantage. Yeah. So you're really going to start working in some screen plays here, maybe some quick hitters. Knowing they're in man coverage, you run everybody off, let the O-lineman go to work. A.J. Smith could very much have a big play.
Well, I think they're disguising their pressure very well as well. I mean, they're running some stunts that look like they're seriously messing up the low offensive line of Warrensburg. 4th down and 9. Warrensburg's offense stays on the field. Mannering straight drop back to pass. He steps up, fires, and incomplete. He had Dominique Mayhem, but it's a turnover on downs, and Oak Grove takes over after a promising start to the drive.
And that's killer right there. You never want to stall a drive out, especially after you cross midfield. And when you're in your own territory, about 5 yards from the red zone, that's when you got to really, you got to execute. Execution is big there, and Oak Grove did a really good job applying pressure to Mannering. There wasn't a lot he could do. He was having to move his body quite a bit, and they laid some big hits there, so a great job by the Oak Grove defense of putting the work in.
7 minutes and 26 seconds to play in the first quarter is when we'll see Oak Grove start drive number 2 from the 28-yard line. Quarterback again is Cole Schartz. Straight drop back to pass, sensing pressure off the edge, fires to the seam, and it's incomplete. The intended receiver on the play was Gavin Rose.
And there they ran a switch concept down here on the near sideline, but there was no attempt there at a pick. A lot of the times when you run that, you want your receiver clipping the shoulder of the DB to open that up, especially they're in man coverage down here, and you clip one DB's shoulder, and you have a step on him now, and that's all you need.
The quarterback, is Cole Schartz. Luke Schartz. He's a senior. Cole's the sophomore. Warrensburg showing pressure, man in motion. It's a touch pass to the wide receiver. Strung out well in a big hit from the defensive back, Seth Johnson. A loss of 2 as Johnson, the cornerback, is up to the task on a cold night.
Ryan, who says cornerbacks don't like to hit? That's a big tackle right there by Johnson. And you know what? Some DBs like to hit.
Well, I don't know many DBs that like to hit whenever it's below 60 degrees outside for sure. They don't like to hit in general typically, but especially not when it gets cold out. Seth Johnson does like to hit. 3rd down and 11 yards to go to pick up the Fox Heating and Cooling first down. 6 minutes and 45 seconds to play in the first quarter. No score from either team. Straight drop back to pass for Oak Grove. Now stepping up, and he's brought down by Frank Stevenson. Stevenson, the signature kick in the air, and a sack on 3rd down forces a punt for the Panthers.
Ryan, once again, is that Frank Stevenson or is that TJ Watt? Because he is playing like one of the best defensive edge rushers in the state, and it's showing. That man is an animal. He's all over the place. He has speed, strength. He has every tool you want out of an edge rusher, and he's really proving why he's one of the best.
Punter's heels on the 10-yard line of Warrensburg. Warrensburg started their last drive on their own 44-yard line. High snap.